All right, so we are continuing with the topic of trafficking today. I could make making a post part of the lives to make sure that I do them every day. So I need to make a post. I posted on Threads yesterday. I'm new to Threads with my first post. And I posted about the fact that yesterday, I don't know what it was. I mean, I always take the same routes more or less to and from work. But yesterday, for some reason, I was just walking into traffic. It's not funny, but all right. Was not doing that today. So we're going to go ahead and pick up. I like taking the notes. I like writing it down. I know I finished coming up with the first itinerary yesterday. So where is it? Oh, no, I didn't. I just decided that we would focus on the 5 least dangerous places in relation to trafficking. I thought I wrote something down. Guess I didn't. All right, it's a global organized crime index. I really hope this is the same page I found yesterday. It is not. But it might be a better one. All right. The heat map is composed of 2 main components, criminality and resilience to organized crime. All right, so this is not specific to trafficking. Compare 2 indicators on the map side by side. Oh. I need to save this link. Compare heat maps. Resilience, criminality, change indicator, human trafficking, leadership, relationship. I don't know what this means. All right. This is what I was looking for yesterday, more specifically. So it's Tuvalu. We're going to Tuvalu. We have to find a place to go in Tuvalu. We're going to Sao Tome and Principe. So Tuvalu, that was it the West Indies? I know Sao Tome is supposed to be an African island. Let's see. Oceania. Pacific Ocean. What did I just say? Not that. Let me look at the map. Tuvalu. Tuvalu. World War II sites. Okay, so snorkeling. What is snorkeling? I mean, I'm not enjoying this one. I'm not enjoying this one. So these itineraries should really be all about going to places that are very low on trafficking and learning about how to protect yourself from trafficking. Ideally. Well, the only option. It can't be done any other way right now. So Sao Tome and Principe. Yeah, I clearly don't know. Sao Tome and Principe. Cool. That's where we're going. Now, we can do snorkeling here. I don't know what snorkeling. I don't know where this is going at all. Snorkeling, and then let's see what Sao Tome is known for. I mean, these are islands. And I guess that makes a point in itself, right? Just how prevalent it is. Ooh, rock formations. A skyscraper-like volcanic rock. Rock formations. Let's go see the rock formations. Okay. The next one is going to be, this is measuring. Measuring. And then by Stearman. The titles of these are not making it easy to distinguish them, but it's okay. Nauru. And then San Marino. All right, what's going on in Nauru? These places are all over, which is great, right? But they are all islands. What is with this World War II trend? Oh my goodness. That can't be right. Please do not tell me. I know. I'm thinking it's because of and this is a huge stretch, but I'm like, could it be because of the chemical warfare there, which impacted the island? So people are like, no, let's not take people in there, as awful as that sounds. I mean, it could be like something like that. Yeah, it's really out there. And I guess just because there's a World War II, uh, outpost doesn't mean that there was war there. It could have just been in preparation. I don't know. I have no idea. We could look it up. World War II in Nauru. Australia. Man, you know what I haven't put on the calendar, which I should? History, man. Or maybe history could just be the focus for next year. Just in general, the loud thing, just history. I can try to get as much history as I can. Damaging phosphate facilities. All right. High phosphate levels directly potentiate vascular calcification, right? Now, Does that mean that they're just blocked in general, or it's hardening, right? What does endothelial mean? The endocrine system is like your lymph nodes, right? Which is like your immune system, right? So the lymph is right, the lymph nodes. Okay, it's still blood clotting. Immune function. Endothelial cells release substances control immune function. Apoptosis, cell stress, and apoptosis. Apoptosis. I don't know what that means. I would have to take just a wild guess. My wild guess is that it means the production of cells. I don't know. Death of cells. Genesis. Wait a second. Do I make a disclaimer? Right? Lingering effects of phosphate poisoning. lingering generational effects of phosphate poisoning. Okay, 5 years. Okay. Yeah, so I could do a disclaimer saying that these remote locations were the sites of battles. They still call them battles? War efforts? And could potentially have those reasons for being low on trafficking. But it doesn't seem like the phosphate thing is a reason. And I think the fact that it's a remote island makes a huge difference. Ooh, limestone Mocha caves. Mocha caves. A little spelunking. Cuddle up against stalagmite. Yay! So that's where we'll go here, the Mocha caves. San Marino. Now, I've definitely heard of San Marino, but I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Studying geography. I'm so excited to get these meetings a little bit more structured. But all right, San Marino is a small independent republic in Europe that is surrounded by Italy. It is the world's oldest surviving representative republic and the third smallest state in Europe. San Marino. Okay, tiny, but not an island. Okay, San Marino. I'm gonna go there. Wow. I Let's see what this place is. A mountainous microstate surrounded by north central Italy, among the world's oldest republics, it retains much of its historic architecture. On the slopes of Monte Titano sits the capital, also called San Marino, known for its medieval old town and narrow cobblestone streets. The three towers, castle-like citadels dating to the 11th century, sit atop Titano's neighboring peaks. I mean, hey, how big is this place? It seems like just go to the capital for the architecture, or what's the main attraction in San Marino? Is that it seems a little? What's the main attraction? It seems like it's just one big attraction. Main attractions in San Marino. Tower, tower, tower. I know I'm not going very deep in my searches when it comes to this stuff, but things to do in Travel Guide. Traveler with a camera, mom of three boys, and the founder of Full Suitcase, one of the world's leading family travel blogs. Ooh, I need to save this. On this website, I share our family's travel experiences from all over the world, coupled with lots of practical information and helpful tips for your trips. Join us as we discover the world one beautiful adventure at a time. Here you can read more about me, my family, and how Full Suitcase can help you plan your own dream trips. That's amazing. I would love to get in touch with you and share some compensation. That's so cool. This would be such useful information. Wow. Traveling. Hmm. All right, the last one, and I'll probably finish this one a little early today. It's the last location and activity. And we'll have to figure out how to actually link that with the safety precautions. Monaco. Wow. Definitely heard of Monaco. Things to do in Monaco. What is that? Casino. Oh, that doesn't look like it. Ooh, updated 2025. Hottest address. Chicago Old Town. Hercules Port. Opera. Ooh. Monte Carlo Opera. Monte Carlo Opera. Opera. Okay, and I'm going to finish it up there. We'll figure out how to mix in the study and the write. But let's see if we're snorkeling, right? Oh man, for snorkeling. I got nothing. I'm just going to have to go through and search for keywords that relate to these activities in the books on archive. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's go to this one. I'm going to search snorkeling. Is that ridiculous? It might be a little ridiculous, but we're going to try it. We're going to search water, breathing, things like that. And I know that it's strange. But the workshops are just a time to experiment and think of different ways to make itineraries, right? When we sit down and actually want to make an itinerary that's based on combing through the entire book, that's different. Okay. Snorkeling. Ooh. Not a big surprise. See if I spelled it correctly. Snorkeling. Yeah. Is spelled how it sounds. All right. Let's do swimming. Okay, here we go. Which chapter is this from? One of one. One of one. What do you mean one of one? Oh, one of one for the search. Okay. Hopes for a better future lure many victims into trafficking rings. Okay. And I said I wanted to focus on chapters, right? Hopes for a better future lure many victims into trafficking rings. Okay. All right. So John Selleck is a New York-based writer who specializes in politics, education, religion, and public policy. Growing up in rural Zambia, given Kachipa saw a future containing the possibility of $1 a day job if he was lucky to find one while avoiding the ever-present plagues of HIV and tuberculosis. Orphaned at age 11, Kachipa saw his faith as a way out of hardships of his life. Encouraged by his cousins to join the church choir after his parents died, Kachipa viewed choir singing as a refuge from the harsh life he was living. He saw it as a way to get closer to God and to his faith. I used to go to church every Sunday with Bible study, and there would be days that I would pray for hours and hours, he said. I was excited. I will never forget the day that I received Jesus Christ. There were things that I did where I could see God working in my life. The look of modern slavery. Kachipa thought his faith would lead him to a better life in the United States. When he was 13, he was approached by TTT Partners in Education, a church ministry group from Texas, to participate in a choir with 11 other Zambians that would travel the United States singing in malls, churches, and zoos and schools. After passing the audition, Kachipa left on what he thought would be a 2-year adventure that would provide him with an American education, a salary, money for his family, and the chance to raise money to build schools in Zambia. To have someone tell you that they could provide what you are missing, you think it is a gift from God, Kachipa said about the opportunity. Kachipa's choir succeeded several previous choirs of Zambian students who were promised the same thing. Unfortunately, he did not have the chance to talk to previous participants before coming to the US. Trafficking can be forced labor in a Chinese buffet restaurant or strip mall in your neighborhood. It is not your stereotype of sex labor. His American dream soon turned into a nightmare as he found himself having little sleep, no money, close scrutiny, daily threats, and the fear of returning to Zambia in disgrace. Kachipa had become a victim of human trafficking. Threats were the biggest thing, and returning back, they would tell your family and they would say you had no respect, and respect is a big thing in Zambia. Kachipa said, it was hard to ask anything. It came to the point where if you asked anything, they said you would be sent back. Deportation would have been viewed as a sign that a choir member had been disrespectful to their American elders. Any choir member who had been deported would have been viewed as an outcast in Zambia. The United States government estimates that between 14,500 and 17,500 people are trafficked into the United States each year, with 800,000 being trafficked worldwide each year. A study released this year, 2006, by the United States Department of Justice pinpoints the East Asia Pacific region as being the largest source of individuals who are trafficked into the United States. A breakdown provided by the nonprofit advocacy group Free the Slaves states that 46% of victims are forced to work in prostitution, 27% are in domestic servitude, 10% work in agriculture, 5% work in factories, and the remaining 12% work in miscellaneous categories, including food service and consumer goods. Trafficking is a hidden phenomenon, said Martha Newton, director of the Office of Refugee Settlement in the United States Department of Health and Human Services. It can be forced labor in a Chinese buffet restaurant or a strip mall in your neighborhood. It is not your stereotype of sex labor. In the United States, Kachipa would find himself being forced to work 18-hour days with little sleep. He would spend weeks at a time on tour, forced into the back of a crowded van. The other singers, also from his village in Zambia, all found problems with their work situation. While on tour, he had to clean his own clothes, set up and dismantle the equipment, and live on little sleep. Very little free time was built into the choir's time on the road, with the only recreational activities being walking around the malls they performed in. This reminds me of a movie, a Shia LaBeouf movie. What is that Shia LaBeouf movie? When they were driving around and what was it? American Honey, yeah. 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 Constant threats. Kachipa and his fellow choir members were threatened into not saying anything about their plight to the host families they lived with while on the road. Anything given to them by a host family had to be rejected. If a gift made it into a choir member's luggage, it was promptly seized by ministry officials. Kachipa was constantly threatened with deportation if he did not live by ministry rules, which at one point included hand digging a swimming pool under the hot Texas sun. I questioned God so many times. Why would this be happening to me? Kachipa said. After everything I went through in Zambia, after things were supposed to be good, it turned out worse. Did God exist? How could I end up like this? Ministry officials regularly use scripture readings to reinforce their rules. The scriptures reinforce the ministry's desire to have the choir members respect them and their rules. Combined with the traditions from Zambia regarding respecting elders, Kachipa said he and the other choir members were conflicted about what they wanted to do. We were hoping that God would liberate us from our situation. After 18 months, the ministry called the police to start deportation against 2 choir members. After talking to the 2 choir members, the police referred the case to federal immigration officials and the United States Department of Labor. The Labor Department forced the ministry to start paying the choir members and to give them educations. While Kachipa then started receiving a paycheck, he was forced to pay back most of it to the ministry in order to eat and sleep. By this point, several host families had been interviewed by the FBI as a part of investigations into TTT, and former Attorney General Janet Reno had been sent letters about the allegations. The choir members called immigration officials and asked to be taken away from the ministry as conditions worsened. A According to Kaichapa, the ministry's founder, Keith Grimes, used the choir as a money-making operation. In Kachapa's visa application to the federal government, he stated that Grimes said that if the choir members went home, the choir employees, all of them were members of Grimes' family, would lose their jobs. Though he was recognized by the federal government as being involved in human trafficking, Grimes couldn't be charged because the federal anti-human trafficking law had not yet taken effect. It had not granted interviews about the situation. A woman claiming to be Barbara Grimes Martins had posted on an internet message board refuting the allegations against TTT. Another internet posting by Jonathan Elijah Grimes said that the allegations are false and that TTT built several schools in Zambia and provided homeschooling for the choir members. Documents filed with and accepted by the federal government as a part of Kachipa's petition to become a resident alien, however, stated that no schools were built in Zambia as a part of the choir coming to the United States. The documents state that the proof of no schools comes from previous choir members along with those on the ground in Zambia. As a part of the documents, Kachipa states that he learned from people connected to the first choir that $250,000 had been generated by the first choir's recordings. All right. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, I guess that's it for today.